It's like summertime, you guys. I don't know where you live in the country, but hello, everybody on Facebook. Hold on, let me do my audio recording so I don't forget, because sometimes I forget. But I'm not forgetting today, because this is for you, Ian. We are recording. All right. We are live everywhere. Is this one going? All right, all of our electronics and gadgets are now going. So welcome. It is an honor to be here with you today. This is one of my favorite days of the week, which is Tuesday, which is Coffee is for Closers Day. So just to reiterate, we are doing a giveaway for one of these hats. It's a Coffee is for Closers hats. I have really cool hats. At least I like them. And, we're going to be talking today about credibility. So how do you keep your credibility high? How do you deal with credibility after you've been rejected or told no? And then how also, what I want to discuss too is how do you deal with increasing your credibility by telling the clients that aren't a good fit and that don't serve you no. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of that today too. So again, if you want to win a hat, the hats are really cool. So, and it helps spread the word to more people about, Coffee is for Closers. So this is a Facebook Live show. For those of you that might have forgotten what this is, which means that this is an interactive opportunity. So interactive meaning that you can ask me questions, you can type them in the comments below, you can type in show in the comments below, and also share this with all of your friends. I would love it, of course, if you can share it because that, sharing is caring. Isn't that a saying? They say sharing is caring. And then also, you got to stay hydrated. So I have water. I had coffee earlier. I had some black tea. Whatever you want to drink and stay hydrated is great. So again, if you're over on the Instagram, pop on over to Facebook. It's the Pitch Queen, and you can just share, comment on something related to what you've experienced with it when it deals with credibility, and put in the comments below. Also, we're going to put in down below the link to get your weekly reminders. So if you just click on that, we use ManyChat, and it will send you a weekly reminder so you never have to miss one of these shows, and you can be here with me live if you got some free time. Okay? So we're going to get started. All right. Today is Coffee is for Closers. This is episode number 30, which equals 30. Well, 3 plus 0 equals 3. But 3 and a 0 after it is 30. So that's what episode number we're on. And we're talking about how to keep your credibility after you're rejected, after you're told no. In sales conversations, right? We're always talking about in a sales conversation, especially for those of you that sell a monthly service, maybe between $2,000 and $4,000, or maybe you sell an annual engagement, like a lot of the CPAs I work with sell something between $10,000 and $50,000 annually once a year. So these are really great tips that will help you and help you work with those types of clients, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to show you my screen too in just a bit. But real quick, we're going to go over a cup of wisdom, right? We always have a cup of wisdom. We've had it for 30 weeks, so we're going to keep it. Why is credibility important? Why? Why is it important to increase and maintain your credibility level? How do you grow your credibility? What are some ways you can do that? How to keep your credibility? This is extremely important, you guys, especially for those of you selling high-priced services, high-priced products, raising a lot of money. Keeping your credibility is ultra, uber important, and energy for the soul. So that is what we're going to be discussing today. Okay? And I apologize. I have the sniffles because it's super dry, and I think we have Santa Ana's. So as most of you maybe know, or if you're new to the show, I am Michelle. I am the Pitch Queen, and I live in San Diego, California. I like to call it, and so does everywhere else, this is America's finest city. So I live in America's finest city. Now let's go over to the slides. If you have a question or a comment, my head itches right here. Gotta get the itch. Put in the comments below, because we're talking about credibility today. And, how do you keep yourself and your credibility elevated at all times when dealing with the fun times of being a solopreneur or maybe a business owner, and we're dealing with really high-level clients that maybe are trying to wheel and deal with you. All right, so if you guys are on Facebook, you can pop on over to the screen. For those of you guys here, we're talking about credibility. So credibility, let me just show you this. Oops, let me go down. So credibility comes from results. Everything else is just marketing. And I really love that, because when you increase your credibility, that means you're able to deliver more results to your clients. One way to really help with gaining credibility is obtaining testimonials, keeping the emails and thank you cards that your clients might be sending you, saying, oh my gosh, you helped me so much. Or, like Sean's watching right now on Instagram, and, thank you, Sean, for helping me with creating my sales course for CPAs, or not creating it, but giving me feedback, and I did my first week this week. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask for a testimonial from each person, which will help me increase my credibility as long as they get results. So again, it's all about getting results for our clients, because that is what my mission is how can I help them achieve their goals and dreams, which I hope that's also important to you. So let's go through some of the reasons why credibility is important and how this can actually help you with your businesses and with what you're doing as you're navigating the waters through your sales, right? Because as entrepreneurs and solopreneurs or small business owners, or as my CPA crowd likes to call them, solo practitioners, keeping your sales and keeping your credibility high is really, really, really important. So the shorter the interaction with the client, the more your credibility actually matters. So just sit on this one for a second. If you show your potential client that you are the best person to work with, another way to show your clients that you might be the best in the industry is having those testimonials, having video reviews. I like to do it in all forms, so having some written, having some in video. People can do like little selfie videos of themselves. So there's a lot of different ways, but what are some ways of why someone would want to work with you? And again, credibility comes from helping others achieve results. That's one of the ways. Always remember to listen to your clients too. Actually, listening creates more credibility. If you can listen about 80% of the time and let them talk 80% of the time, you are going to slowly increase your credibility without even knowing it. It's very simple to do. And then again, what else shows credibility is what is something maybe that's unique about yourself? What is something that's different? So with the CPAs that I work with, a lot of them are called what we call certified tax coaches. So they've gone through my friend's program and they've gotten an extra certification in a special designation that sets them apart from all their other counterparts, right? So maybe think about what's something unique that you can do to keep yourself extra unique and different from maybe someone else in your space. For me, I could go through a special sales training, or maybe there was a sales certification that was really well respected and well known, or maybe depending on what you do in your business and your career, an MBA will help you be more credible. There's a million different things you can do, but it's really becoming an expert in whatever it is that you want to help your clients succeed and prosper with. Also, claims are very easy to verify these days, and reviews are even easier to see. With the online world, all of this is just at an arm's reach, right? Like I can just go and Google anything and probably find an answer. So with credibility, it's really actually hard to earn and really easy to lose. So we want to focus on what we just talked about, which is really showing our potential clients, especially for new ones, why are you the best person? We all have really great knowledge, but what makes us unique? What makes us different is very important. Another thing that's very important, that would help you with increasing your credibility, especially through the no's or through some rejections, is actually admitting when you don't know something. So admitting what you don't know something, I have a spelling error. Admitting what you don't know actually shows someone a high level of credibility in the areas that you are weak in. This also allows your strengths to shine. So I want to give you an example of what I mean by this. So let me just go over here to the video. If you guys have any comments, questions on why credibility is important, please put them in the comments below. Below, right there. Yep. Hello from Colombia, Samir. How's it going? Hope all's well. Okay, so I feel like I'm pretty good at admitting when I'm not good at something. So I'll give you an example. Part of, you all know, I have a podcast and we have all of these episodes on the bonuses every Saturday, right? And one of the things is really growing that. Well, my specialty is not in the area of lead generation, okay? That is not my expertise. So if I'm looking to really help and grow my podcast, or my services is really helping solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, show them ways that you can really increase the value and help your clients at a deeper level and share with them a conversation that is not only powerful, but allows them to make some sort of decision to work with you. That's really what I'm good at. But to get that person to talk to, that is not my expertise. Like I would say, like Sean is really, really good at that front end part, right? I am not that good at it. However, by me admitting that I am actually not the greatest at the lead generation part of getting a lot of people to listen to a podcast, or getting a lot of people to book appointments on the phone, or get a lot of people doing Facebook ads, I know I'm not good at it, okay? When I know I'm not good at something, I actually admit it and I say it, which increases your credibility. Got it? I invite you to try this week. If someone asks you if you know something or you don't know something, actually say, if you don't know, just say, you know what? Actually, that isn't my strength. My strength is X, Y, and Z. However, I do have someone that can really help you in that area. I am willing to do an email introduction to you, but my specialty and my strength is in this. And actually admitting to what you're really, really great at and maybe what you're not so great at. So this is a great way to really increase credibility. Another example that I would say that I had to deal with that situation was with my last company, with Fitzy Foods. You know, I have a short fuse. I wasn't really the best manager, okay? So I would admit that from time to time. And I actually, brought on a CEO a couple different times, but it didn't really work out. I brought on a COO because to manage a team of 25 people on a sales and marketing side of a company and on a meal manufacturing side, it's difficult. And I can admit that because I knew where my strengths were. My strengths were pitching to Costco, were pitching on Shark Tank, was getting into the vitamin shop, was getting a deal with the Scripps local hospital a few years ago here in San Diego. That's where my strengths were. When you know what your strengths are and you can admit what you're not that great at, it actually helps increase the credibility. All right. For those of you on Facebook, comment below and tell me, where do you shine and where do you not shine? Tell me in the comments below. And for those of you on Instagram, I don't know who's still there, but maybe you guys can put in the comments below, what is an area that you really, really shine in, and maybe what's an area you can admit that you're not the best at, but you can refer it out to somebody else. You want to put in the comments below? This is an interactive show. Gosh, you guys, my head itches. I don't know what's going on. I even washed my hair. But, yeah, put in the comments below. I'd love to know. Or if you're not there, then no worries. We are going to keep moving along. Okay? All right. let's go over some ways on how you can grow your credibility. How can you increase it? What are some things that you can work on? I'm going to go back to the slides for those of you on Facebook, okay? And if you're on Instagram, why don't you pop on over to Facebook? And then Amy was super helpful. And okay, if you type in show, you're going to get the weekly reminders every single week so you can join us and you'll never have to miss a show again. Or if you want my slides, we give those away too. So you just need to type in show and, see, Susie, I'm great with lead generation and building trust. Working a team is great for that reason. See, working with a team is great. She's really good at that. I'm really good once you have the person. But we all have to pick what we're really great at and say what you're not so great at. And when you say what you're not so great at, your credibility will increase. I've said it 3 times. I'm going to say it probably 5 today. All right, how to grow your credibility. See these Instagram? If you want these, all you have to do is come over to Facebook, okay? Come over to Facebook, The Pitch Queen, type in show in the comments below on Facebook, and then you'll get these. Okay, I'm going to start over. Starting over. How to grow your credibility. So, what's your first impression? How will you share authentically? Online with written content or maybe behind the scenes on your Instagram stories. That's a great way to share and share openly and also increase and grow your credibility. Credibility takes time, right? Like we said earlier. It's easy to really get to lose your credibility and it's hard to grow it. Allow your tribe and your following to really get to know you. Another way to grow credibility always follow through on what you promise. So I like to say under promise and over deliver. If you keep making promises and you never keep coming through with them, you actually slowly start to lose your credibility. I know it might sound crazy, but it's actually the truth. Always do what you say you will do. It's one of the best ways to increase credibility especially if you get told no, or you get rejected, or maybe you told no to somebody else. You got to do what you say. Let me give you an example. So a couple weeks ago, I think we chatted about this a couple weeks ago, but I was talking to these 2 guys and they wanted to really enroll in my friend's program to help them create that niche in tax planning. They were both CPAs, okay? Well, they decided they wanted to do a lot of research and they missed the window for scholarship opportunity. They then started to negotiate with me on price. The only way that I would be able to keep my credibility and also increase it was to stand by what I promised and my word. I told them in the email explicitly what the rules were and what was going to be done, and I also shared with them over the phone. I shared with them 2 different ways, and they went back and forth and back and forth. Let's just say I was going to back down on what I made a commitment to. So I'm just going to make up numbers. Let's say within a day, they could have enrolled at $1,000. I'm just making numbers up. But if they wanted to wait and do their research, it was going to cost $5,000. That's just how it is. And they had it in writing, but after the fact, they still wanted it for $1,000. If I were to give in, or if you guys are to give in on your businesses and whatever you set your pricing at, you can't deviate from that. Because once you break it with one person, it's like a trickle-down effect to everybody. So it's really, really, really important to do what you say and stand behind it 100%. You don't need to work with people that are going to nickel and dime you anyway. I just want to make sure that you all understand the benefits of really not only under-promising and over-delivering, but always do what you say you're going to do and not negotiate. Negotiation actually you can lose massive credibility in the wrong type of negotiation. So know your value. Do not drop your prices or your rates. We just discussed that. Know your specialty. I know that my specialty is not on the lead generation side. That's not what I'm good at. I would get someone like Susie or like Laura. There's a lot of other people that they're really good at that stuff. You don't have to be good at everything. You want to be credible. You want to do one thing really, really, really well. So you're known as like that go-to person. Have testimonials, brag book. As you can see, this theme comes into play. Having reviews, having testimonials, having a brag book, having video reviews, having people talk really highly of you increases your credibility substantially. I'll give you an example. I just literally got off the phone with 2 financial advisors that I've worked with, right? These guys are awesome. They were so happy to hear from me. I invited them to San Diego for 2 days. They're able to come and hang out and relearn the material. It's not going to cost them anything extra, but we have a really good relationship. We built really good rapport. They were excited to hear from me. One of them even listens to the podcast every single week, which was really cool. And he said, that interview you did with Justin's from Justin's Peanut Butter. By the way, I'm slightly addicted to the dark chocolate covered peanut butter cups. Like, I can literally OD on those. And it's not very good because they are a lot of calories. So, but anyway, he listened. He said, when I have a 45-minute drive, that's what I listen to. That is a form of increasing credibility because every time he listens to my podcast, he's hearing all of our stories that we're talking about. So what can you guys do in your businesses that you can also work on to help increase credibility with your clients? Maybe put in the comments below. I would love to know. Hi, David. Hello, Mr. Chocolate 187. What a name. That's cool. But yeah, what are some ways that you guys can actually think of one thing and put it into action to start increasing your credibility? I'd love to know. Share it with every other person because whoever's not watching or listening right now, they're going to listen later. One last thing on how to grow credibility. One last thing. Boundaries. Stand up for what you set out for yourself. I'm not sure if we've had this discussion on boundaries, actually. Let me go to the camera view, not slide. So boundaries, they're really, really important. Having set boundaries, kind of like having your set rates or your set prices, is really important. Let me give you another example, like with a CPA. I dealt with it last week. I was working one-on-one with one. We're doing some one-on-one coaching, and I'm helping them do a really nice tax plan for a client. It was going to save them about $90,000. However, we did the call, and they were actually on vacation at the time. Tip, don't have phone calls or calls when people are on vacation or they're driving. It's not good for anybody, and no one's really present 100% of the time, right? So anyway, the client really just wasn't interested. They didn't have any real desire to save around $90,000. It just really wasn't that important to them. And I advised the CPA to actually just send the client a thank you email saying, you know what, it was really great meeting you. Unfortunately, I understand that saving $90,000 isn't that big of a deal to you. I'm like, to me, it's a really big deal, but okay. Again, this is about our clients. It's not about you, and we're here to serve our clients. So with this person, I recommended the CPA send them a message and just say, you know what, I'm sorry we weren't able to help you, and, hopefully you don't have to pay that much in tax this year, but it's probably best that we just don't move forward. Because it's not going to be a good fit. And that's the message we sent. When you send that kind of message and you actually can let people go, it increased her credibility. These people are now going to say like, wow, this person didn't push me into anything. They didn't convince me to do anything I didn't want to do. So it really opens up a whole nother credibility level. Like if there are different tiers, like a pyramid, right? Like let's say we were in Egypt and we have a pyramid. Every time you can increase your credibility with a testimonial, or you don't negotiate on prices and you really get to the top, and on the top is when you can tell a client, I'm sorry, I just don't think we're a good fit. That's the top of your credibility pyramid, if you were to look at it like a pyramid, okay? So here is pyramid in Egypt on my head, and the bottom layer is like the surface layer, and then like imagine adding a layer until you get to the tippy top, and the tippy top would be what we did last week with that CPA. And you want to know something really cool? Like the next day she told me she got another new client that's a perfect candidate that we can now work with on a tax plan. Wonderful. We don't want to convince anybody. We're not here to sell anybody, you guys. We're here to show what are you really good at. When you want to increase credibility, what are you not so good at? It's okay to admit it, and really help the people that want to get helped. So I'm going to leave it with that. If you guys are on Facebook, if you can like it and love it, and can you hit the share button, then sharing it will go to more people. And then for those of you on Instagram, if you have a question, put it in the comments below. All right, let's go over how do you keep credibility after you're rejected or you're told no. So this is really, really important because you can't let it really affect you personally. I have learned that doesn't really get us anywhere that you want to probably get to with your businesses, unfortunately. So stay professional and always thank people for their time. Even if you spent 2, 3, 4, 5 hours with people and they said no thanks, but thanks, or they were completely rude and rejected you, it's really important to keep that level of professionalism and thank people for their time. I would say nowadays, like, people don't thank each other enough for each of our times, right? It's kind of like it's expected. No, it's not expected. So thank them for your time. You can also even follow up with this potential person maybe in a month or two. So with my example with the CPA where we sent the letter, I just don't think these people are a good fit to work with. I would never work with them, but that's going to be up to the CPA to figure out if she wants to follow up with them in maybe 6 months to a year. I'm going to let her make that decision. So when we increase our credibility, especially after getting rejected or being told no, you guys get to pick when you follow up with them. So maybe follow up. And you can also check out the episode that we did on the follow-up system. So if you just search follow-up system, you should find it, okay? Ask questions. Questions are key to learn from. Every rejection can be educational and also increase your credibility. Okay, I did a podcast interview. I think it was Justin from Justin's Peanut Butter. If you guys want to talk about getting rejected, I think that one is a great one because he not only got rejected from the buyers at Whole Foods, but he also got pretty rejected from raising money. He did not have experience. He didn't have the credibility. So what he did was he found an advisory team to support him in order to help raise the money that he was looking for on like his one round of funding. So if you go and search on the podcast, Justin from Justin's Nut Butters, you're going to find that episode. I highly recommend listening to it because he brought up a really good point. He actually went back to the people that did not invest in him the first time around and asked them, what could he have done differently? That's a pretty good idea, right? So he went and asked all the investors, and the investors said he lacked credibility in this area, and he lacked credibility in this area. And you know what? You don't have any experience raising high rounds of money. So he went and built an advisory board, and he looked for people like that weren't completely retired, but maybe had some gray hair, like they've been through a little bit of work in their career. And he was able to go back to these people in the future. So he followed up and actually raised the money. So all the details are in Justin's interview. Again, Justin's from Justin's Nut Butter. I think the title is how he took a $75,000 investment and generated a company now with over $50 million in sales. You guys, on asking questions, that's legit. Asking questions when you're told no or when you get rejected is a really good learning lesson. I sometimes do it now too. Like, what could I have done better is a good one to ask. What in my service or product was missing that you were looking for? Maybe come up with like 3 questions today that you can have written out. So if you get rejected or told no, you've got a reference guide to go check out. And then also reflect and improve. Very, very, very important. So what are maybe 3 things that you will change the next time you present your offers? Or I call it, solutions, offers, whatever you want to call it is good. But really, what are some things that you can take away from today and make a change? Right? So maybe 1 or 2 maybe you can come up with 3 questions that you can ask if you're told no or if you're rejected from potential clients, maybe from customers, maybe from an investor, like why didn't someone invest in me? All of these are a great opportunity to gain questions and then reflect on what they say and improve. You've got to always work on improvement, right? So in the end, you make your reputation. Okay, let me start over. In the end, you make your reputation and you have success based upon credibility and being able to provide people who are really hungry for the information what they want. From Britt Hume. It's a great quote. Right? What do you guys think about this quote? You can type it in the comments below, or you can type it later in the comments below if you're gone already. We will put up the replay. So that's how I'm going to end it today. I don't know if there are any questions, but I am here for questions, as you guys always know. But this is a really important topic. I love this topic. And also, again, if you want to get weekly reminders, just pop on over to Facebook and type in show, or over here, here's how you can get reminders right here. All right, you guys. Well, if there are no questions, it was an honor to be here with you. I love doing this. So, I am an open book for questions. I don't really see any, finding a team, like Susie said, on getting lead generation, building trust, working on a team is great, because then you can do what you're really good at and the other people can do what they're really good at. Totally agree. Susie said great stuff. Thank you, Susie. And if you guys want to get reminders, because reminders always help, just type in show in the comments below on Instagram or Facebook. Next week, we have a special guest. So make sure to tune in. We are changing the theme for February. Maybe it should be about love. No, this is not the dating show. So anyway, thank you for joining me on Coffee is for Closers. It was awesome to be here with you guys today, and I will see you all next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. 2 p.m. Pacific next Tuesday with a special guest. So stay tuned. Have an awesome day. Oh, Alexis, you're here. Video testimonials from clients. Okay, we got a question. I'm not leaving yet. Alexis, I do have a resource for you. I am going to find the email and I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'll put it right here in the Facebook for you. And you can probably just copy and paste it and send it over to some clients that you've helped so you can start getting some video testimonials. I wrote it out. I just need to find it, so I'll put it on the comment. So for anyone that wants or needs help getting video testimonials, I will share with you a step-by-step, like literally the message you can copy, paste, and customize to you that you can send to your clients so you can get some video testimonials coming in. They're very, very good. I also think a great way that you can do that Alexis and everybody else is on Skype. You can actually, I will put that in the comments too. There's a recording software you can get. It's like $30. It's really cheap. And you can do side-by-side interview style testimonials too if you want to do those. I like to do those. So Alexis, we actually need to do a testimonial. So you'll get to see and experience how to do that. But for everybody else listening, it's a really great way to get video testimonials if people aren't really good at just doing it by themselves and they need a guide to sort of interview them through the process. So that's a great question. Thank you. Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. All right. All right, everybody. It was awesome to be here with you today. I will see you next Tuesday. And have an awesome week, and I'll put in some of those resources down below. Thanks again for being here. Have an awesome week.